Jess. I am with DITV here reporting from the KCC. I am from the great state of Illinois. I've been with the Destination Imagination program for, about 16 years. This is only my second year at Globals though, so I'm still overwhelmed just like I'm sure a lot of you are. Right now I have a gentleman with me. His name is Gerald. He's from British Columbia, Canada. He's brought some teams with him here to Globals, and we just want to ask him about how did you get involved with the program? What have you been doing here at DI?
We got involved probably 3 years ago. I was contacted by a friend of mine who said, "You got to look into this DI thing, it's the real deal." I'm the head of gifted programming for secondary in our district. I went, okay, took a look at it, called Faith Garriott, who's the affiliate director for British Columbia, and if anyone knows Faith, once you call Faith, you're in. And so I tapped some shoulders of some kids that I knew that I'd been working with for a number of years. I said, "You guys want to take this flyer with me?" They said, "What?" I said, "I have no idea. Are you guys up for it?" They said, "Absolutely." And so we named the team Cannon Fodder, which was actually an apt name because that's what they were. And there were 7 of them, and they worked hard. We got up at 3:30 in the morning, went over, took the ferry over, went to provincials, got absolutely annihilated at provincials. Coming back, it was about 9 o'clock at night, we're on the highway coming home. I said, expecting a very negative response, I said, "So guys, what do you think? Is this something that's worthwhile?" And every one of them said, without a doubt, this was one of the best learning experiences they'd ever had, and they were able to enumerate the things that they had learned. Even though their presentation was an absolute failure, the education was huge, and they said, "This is something we've got to get into."
Wow.
So at that point, I said, okay, what do we need to do? What do we need to change? We used that to build the program. Last year at our school, we had 3 teams, and then we got a couple of other schools involved. And one of the teams in our school was led by a girl that was on that first team. And so we went to provincials, ended up with 3 provincial champs that then qualified for Globals. 2 of them came to Globals, and 1 elementary team came with us. And the girl that was on the original team was part of that team, and they finished 10th last year.
That's fantastic.
It was.
So we're here at Globals again this year. Are you having a good time so far?
Always.
How are your teams doing?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's all about the experience. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, the presentation." I say, well, the presentation is absolutely probably the lowest part of the learning. The learning is all of the stuff leading up to it. It's the teamwork, it's the collaboration, it's the creative thing. It's learning how to think creatively and critically. All of those things leading up to it is where the real learning happens, just like the Cannon Fodder team. The learning wasn't what happened on stage. Yes, you have to learn how to fail in public, but it was what led up to it and their trust of each other that allowed them to carry through that.
That's
so,
great.
Yeah, no, our teams are well set up. They've been working really hard, and I think they'll do well.
That's great. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about your experience at Globals, maybe about a particular student you've worked with?
Well, one of the things that really impresses me about DI, and there are a lot of things, but it really, and the way our district, and I think a lot of districts have taken it, it really brings in a lot of disparate parts. Kids that don't necessarily connect with, say, a sports team, or don't connect with, and it brings these disparate parts together. It also brings those people in. And so we've always had teams that have had people that wouldn't normally. So for example, last year our elementary team had a beautiful young lady on it, but she was a selective mute. I'd known her for 6 years. I'd never heard her say a peep. And they were doing improv, which was interesting, but she had always been scenery, and the team was really good at protecting her. She always had a key part, but it was always a non-speaking part in whatever they did. And we were at Global Finals last year, and one of the girls on stage, they were acting, one of the girls gave her an offer. And I'm sitting in the crowd and going, "Oh dear God, no, I can't believe you did that." And the girl took it, gave 3 words publicly, loudly enough that people heard, and continued the scene through to someone else. And it was one of the most amazing things that I've seen. Since then, I've actually heard her speaking quite a bit more. So that one stands out. This year, our teams, again, have disparate parts. We've got some kids that have some very significant behavioral or academic challenges, but they've done well enough to make it here. And their confidence and their presence is just growing every day, and it really is a magical experience.
That's great. And isn't that what DI is all about?
Yeah, it's a huge part of it for sure.
Definitely. Well, Gerald, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
This has been great. This has been Jess reporting live for DITV. Thanks for watching.